This is Nia Perry, founder and CEO of Gradient Global Collective, and you're listening to the Gradient Global Collective podcast. Hello, good people. I recently read one of the best descriptions for entrepreneurship, and I wanted to share it with you. It's by digital marketer Neil Patel. He is the co-founder of Crazy Egg and Hello Bar. He says, entrepreneurship is like an extreme sport. It will knock you down over and over again. In order to succeed, you will need to be stronger and hungrier than the rest. Don't let those falls get the best of you. Learn from your mistakes and persist until you make it. So I think all my entrepreneurs can understand that all too well. Now on to our guest. Ameniki Omotola is founder of TrinidadMogalista.com. Love that. As the Chief Everything Officer, Ameniki is armed with an enthusiastic approach for work and a go-get-it professional attitude. She is able to offer her clients one-of-a-kind services and advice that covers all aspects of small business development online, from the development of their own corporate brands and identity to attracting more leads and conversions, contributing that way to a richly rewarding online experience. Ameniki is determined to help small creative business owners in her homeland of Trinidad and Tobago and all corners of the globe overcome their obstacles and come up with real solutions concerning their online creative business strategy from the moment they launch their business to being mentioned in the prestigious Forbes list. Well, hallelujah hands emoji for that. Trinidad Mogalista is about helping creatives stand out and pushing them forward to their mogul legacy by using social media platforms to catapult them into their own form of success. I love everything about that just now. So welcome to the Gradient Global Collective podcast, Ameniki.
Hi. Thanks so much for having me. That sounds so good.
I
Like,
know,
wow.
right? Isn't that person so cool?
Yes.
Yes. So I am so happy to finally have an entrepreneur from my father's native country of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm
Mhm.
very sure my peeps at home have been looking forward to having representation from their neck of the woods. So, especially with an awesome brand name like Trinidad Mogalista, way to represent my girl.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's get into it. So, Ameniki, like many of our listeners, you've had many entrepreneurial ventures, right? I know I
Mm.
have, and you have as well. So, what were some of those roles that you've had, those businesses that you had, and what led you to finally to social media consulting?
Oh gosh. This is going to be a lot. Anyway.
Good. Like we like
Hi.
good stuff. Tell us everything.
Yes. Hi everyone again.
Yes.
So I started off. I always knew that I've always been that girl who's always have as Caribbean people, we know somebody who knows somebody who can sell something or
Of
you
course.
can know has the hookup.
Of
So
course.
I've always been that girl. Like,
Okay.
you need something, yeah, call Ameniki. She should know somebody who knows somebody.
Okay.
So I started off, I came back from the States to Trinidad and I was like, my mom was like, you are really liking this makeup thing. So let me send you to do a makeup course.
Okay.
So I did the makeup course and I was like, yes, cool, it's not bad, I like it. And then everybody's like, well, you should start doing makeup. I'm like, okay. I
Okay.
just ran with it.
Yeah.
Of course, I was not very good. Uh,
Okay.
I can
That's
do makeup on
honest.
myself. Yeah, I can do makeup on myself, but other people not so much.
Yeah.
Um, so I started off there. I
Mhm.
also knew that I just didn't want to do my background is psychology. So
Okay.
I knew I just didn't want to do that alone. So
Mhm.
I did an image consultancy course online.
Okay.
Um, so I was really going to be determined because I always like clothes and fashion and
Mhm.
dressing and
Mhm.
putting outfits together. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna be an image consultant and a psychologist.
Okay.
So
That's not that far off though. If you think about it, there's a lot that goes into how you feel when you're
feel
dressed. It's
yes
true.
when you're dressed, but no.
Okay.
Yes, I like it, but to say it was my passion, to say
Mhm.
okay, no, not so much either.
Mhm.
Then so I dropped that, and that when it comes to what Neil just said, really just hit a nerve with me there. But anyway, then I went into a restaurant and bar.
Okay. That's a tough business.
It is, it is, it is, and you think it's so easy because we're in this island life and everybody likes to drink the margaritas and no, no,
Mhm.
no, it's nothing like that. Um, and of course that ended up just going by the wayside as well. So I took a break after all of those ventures. Took a little break for like about a year and just did my main job. And my daughter came along.
Mhm.
I'm a single parent, and of course, my salary was just not enough.
Sure.
I was like, this is not enough for me to support her. Not even like it's enough for now, but like I always think I think in 5 year gaps.
Right.
I think futuristically, it's just good and bad. So I'm thinking in 5 years, this is not going to be enough to support her with all her ventures and after school activities. And I start to get all crazy.
Right.
Like, oh my God, I need to do something. I need to figure out my shit.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It's grown folk
I,
show.
okay. I need to figure out my shit because this is not going to work. Like, I can't do this anymore.
Okay.
And I've always been that girl as well who loves social media. Like I'd be that girl. Did you see this on Facebook? Did you see this on Instagram? Did you see this on Snapchat? What is this Snapchat thing about?
Mhm.
Who is this? What is? And I'm always trying to figure it out. Um, I've always loved entrepreneurship as well, like because you can see that throughout the whole thing. Like I've always tried different stuff.
Right.
So let me combine it with me saying helping other entrepreneurs and through social media so letting them know what the mistakes that I made and helping them navigate social media as well. So
Yeah.
that was the birth of Trinidad Mugalista.
Nice.
And
Well, it does
it,
take that sometimes, right? So you
yeah,
you try things, it doesn't work. You try another, it
yeah,
doesn't work. I know I'm guilty of that too. It's not even guilty. It's just part of I think
the
it's part of
process.
finding your way. Of course, of course. And
Yeah,
you learned lessons in every step of that, in every one of those ventures, I'm sure.
yes, I did. I learned a lot.
So let me
I think
ask you.
everything prepared me, like the
Mm-hmm.
image consultancy
Mm-hmm.
and the makeup especially. So now like if I have because I do like presentations and feature speakers, so I know what to put on. I know how to do my own makeup.
Perfect.
So everything, I definitely think that everything prepared me for where I am today.
Perfect, perfect. So were you said you had a love for entrepreneurship. Were you around surrounded by entrepreneurs growing up or what inspired you to keep on, so one thing didn't work out. What would say, okay, let me try something again? Was it just that you were exposed to entrepreneurship?
Not at all. Like my
Okay.
both parents were worked
Okay.
normal Monday to Friday jobs. My
Mhm.
mom did have like some stints at entrepreneurship where
Okay.
she did like what did she do? Like she did bath bath stuff,
Okay.
the
Mhm.
bathroom, and she used to do like tie-dyed
Mhm.
bathroom mats and stuff.
Okay.
Um, but I always knew that they worked really hard. Like
Yeah.
they were those parents. My mom especially, she worked really, 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 really hard
Yeah.
and um put herself through college, put me through college, is
Wow.
putting my little sister through college right now.
Wow.
Um, so they were hard workers.
Mhm.
Um, and that was the exposure to entrepreneurship. But to say like I had like entrepreneurs in my family, I am the first one who's it is like really scary for them to see me do all of this
Yeah.
because like, you should be saving your money. You should not be doing this.
Mhm.
that's their thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So like I am really just like paving the way for everyone else
For
to
the
say, okay,
next level. Yes, that's
it's
awesome. Very
okay,
good.
it's okay to do this.
Yes,
You
yes, yes.
do
So
this
what made you keep going, right? So you said the makeup didn't work, the consultancy really wasn't right for you, you weren't passionate about it,
about it. Yeah.
wrong restaurant, that kind of thing. So why did you keep going with just trying new things? What made you do that?
Restlessness. I think that
Mm,
I'm not I'm not that person to give up.
okay.
Like I'm never that person to say, that just live this normal life. And I have I may not have a lot of entrepreneur family, but I have a lot of entrepreneur friends
Okay.
in that type of way. The party promoters and small businessmen, stuff like that. So I've always been exposed to their life and like, okay, this is what everyone has always had like around me has always had like a little hustle
Yeah.
with their Monday to Friday jobs. So I always like put that on myself to say, okay, like, I have to figure out. And like yeah, like my salary just was never enough. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
enough for me
Mm-hmm.
to survive. And like you realize like in this Western world that everyone has something,
Mm-hmm.
these these several streams of income. I read a lot as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
always saying about these multiple streams of income, multiple streams of
Yes.
income, multiple streams of income. I'm like, what am I going to do to get these multiple streams of income? Because it's just one form of income just is not sufficient.
Exactly, exactly. And that's why historically black women have had businesses on the side because we've just have not been paid accordingly. Like we have not been
No.
paid appropriately is really the right thing. So you're just part of a historic legacy, Ameniki. Don't worry. So here's really what's important, right? So you are a lupus survivor.
Yes.
You've braved through 13 years of living with this autoimmune disease for which
Yes.
your symptoms have included terrible joint pain, headaches, swollen ankles, facial rash, that just, things that the normal day to day that people complain about just to have ailments every day that I'm sure you at one point had is challenging beyond. So, at what age, let's talk about the lupus a little bit. At what age were you diagnosed and on a professional side, how do you believe that that impacted any of your career decisions?
I was diagnosed when I was 22 years
Oh,
old.
okay. Mhm.
That was 22. So now you guys can figure out how old I am.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Although I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Um, I was 22. It did have a big impact with decisions I made.
Okay.
It still has a big impact. I think that's why I always keep going. That's part of why I always kept going.
Mm.
I'm always that girl, you only live once, and knowing that I have a disease that is basically incurable.
Okay.
You just have to cope with it, and that I almost died. Um, I enjoy taking risk.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
enjoy taking calculated risks, but I
Yeah.
enjoy taking risks. Enjoy trying new things
Sure.
when it comes to, especially when it comes to business. I enjoy it because, like, what do I have to lose?
Wow, that's deep. Yeah. That's so good. Hmm.
I really have to lose. Like, I basically lost everything already. So
Yeah. Wow.
what do I have to lose? Like, nothing too much. Once it doesn't really affect my daughter
Yeah.
and she's good, yeah, let's risk it.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Good for you. So you
Yeah.
mentioned you were on near death, right? So at one point I know you were hospitalized for 21 days.
Hmm.
And you said that you were on your deathbed essentially, like you were in pretty beat up
Bad
shape,
shape.
bad
Yeah.
shape, yeah. So I imagine during that time of your life, you really evaluate what is important to you in those moments and really after, right? So it doesn't go away. You go through that time, but then I imagine that still has long term sort of impact
Mhm.
on you. So what general lessons, not just career, right? So what lessons, not just for about business, can you share with our audience about really evaluating what matters most in life?
Mhm. Um, and it wasn't really during because I think
Okay.
when you're on your death, I didn't know. Like my mom, like she refused to let people come into my
Okay.
hospital room and like with like negative energy. Like as soon as
Okay.
you come in, and if you started to cry and stuff, she would like tell you to leave.
Oh,
Like
okay. Okay.
she was really
Interesting.
aggressive with that. Like she
Yeah.
just did not want that negative or that sadness
Yes.
around me. So I
Okay.
think that really, and it did because like I didn't know, like she tells me that all the time. She's like, you don't know how you are on your second life because I really didn't know.
Wow.
I just
Wow.
thought I was like in the hospital and I was just
were you awake? Like were you in
yeah,
a
I was awake. I was
Okay.
awake like
Okay.
the first couple of days I can't remember, but like after that, I was awake, but I just wanted
Mhm.
to go home. Like I wanted to go home, eat my KFC,
Right.
and come out of the hospital. Like I did not want to take the medication anymore. I gave the nurses a whole lot of attitude. Like I went back afterwards and apologized and
Wow.
like chocolates for them and stuff because I was like the worst patient. I just wanted to come
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
But like when I remember that this day clearly, I was waiting in a wheelchair and the sun like just shined down on my hands and I was
Mm.
like, God, like you really did because like everyone was just talking about it, like you're in your second life, you're in your second life, like I'm like, God, what is this? Like you really did give me a second life. Like I'm going to try my best to live for you
Mm.
or like fulfill my purpose.
Wow.
And wow. Like it was kind of eerie, kind of crazy. Like you're looking down and you're basically just seeing the sun shining down on your hands, like him saying, "You better not fuck up. Like you better just get
Mhm.
your shit together."
Mhm.
Uh, what I would tell people is like I really try not to sweat the small stuff. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's not worth it. Like and it's not worth it holding grudges. It's not worth it holding unforgiveness and um like just holding on to negativity. Like shit is gonna happen to you. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have people doing you wrong. It's going to happen. This is life. But
Mhm.
it's what is up to you is if you're gonna hold on to it and if you're gonna continue with it. It doesn't make sense. Like you just let it go um and keep on moving because life is way too short. We just
Wow.
don't get enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Well,
so much. I think you have a very unique perspective on that, and I think that I love that the visual of the sun shining on your hands while you
yeah.
were being
Just
admitted.
wait. Yeah.
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 Wow. Well, you were being discharged from the hospital at that
Discharged.
point?
Yeah, I was being discharged at the
Wow.
hospital, just outside, waiting. You know, you're just waiting for the car to pull
Yeah.
up, go in,
Right.
and I'm just sitting there, and the sun is just like shining like directly on my hands. I'm like,
Wow.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll
he'll
never
do that
forget that.
too. He'll make it
Yeah,
very clear that you know, like it's not,
yeah.
it wasn't a happenstance. That was something that you probably would have never ever noticed prior to that necessarily.
No, I really
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you mentioned your daughter. How old is she, by the way?
she is 3 going on
Oh
25.
my gosh, she's a little one. Oh my goodness, how sweet. I love it. I love it. So you conceived your daughter after your diagnosis, right? And I understand that that was a very, a no-no from what I
Yes,
understand, right? And
yes, it
so
is.
just in general, just being an entrepreneurial mom comes with its own set of challenges, but you work full time as well. You work full time, you run a business, you have this illness, you're raising a child. That's a whole,
And you don't even know that I'm in school.
and you're
Like,
in school, and you're in school.
my God, what is
Jeez.
wrong with me? Something is wrong with
Well, they do
me.
say us entrepreneurs are a little bit, you got to be a little bit crazy. You got to have a little bit something that's like, why would you do it? So, do you make time for self-care? Is the question. That's really the question I have.
Yeah, I saw that question that you sent, and I've been bad. Like, I've not been good with self-care.
Yeah,
I
me
have been
either.
bad. So that means that I break down and I get overwhelmed
Yeah.
and I get stressed out and I feel like the world is caving down on me.
Hmm.
and I snap at my daughter, and
Mhm.
yes, and then I feel bad, like why am I
Mhm.
snapping at her? And then I get
Mhm.
guilty. I'm like, I'm not doing
Mhm.
enough with her. So
Mhm.
now I have made plans for self-care and
Good.
for doing better with taking care of Ameniki,
Mhm.
because I've recognized that if I don't, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yep. Oh,
So
that's
like
good.
my creativity, everything just depletes. And with my job, you have to be, it's intensely creative.
You're right.
You have to think out of the box, especially when it comes to my clients and their social media.
Of
Like I
course.
always try to do things a little differently.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot out. People think that it's easy, but
Man.
it is.
Social
It's
is a lot of work.
work.
A lot of work. And people, I don't know if people really understand that.
Yes,
Social media takes a lot of time, a lot of creativity, a lot of resources and work. It is very
it's
intense.
it's very intense,
Mhm.
and it takes a lot out of you. Even if it's
Mhm.
easy, it still does take out of you
Right.
when you're pulled in different directions.
Sure.
So
I'll
now I
say this. I'll say
like,
social media for professional use. I wouldn't say, personal, you do what you want to do. But for
yes,
professional use, to push a brand, to grow a brand, it takes a lot of time and thought in it. So, yes.
yes, yes. So I have put in time. Like I'm going on a small mini vacation to Tobago at the end of
Good.
this month,
Good. 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 Good.
and I am going to start putting, it's like I have like zero social life. Like I do nothing.
Mhm.
It's terrible. I'm like, no,
Mhm.
this needs to stop. Like you need to do something at least. If you can't do it every month, try for 6 weeks, but don't let 8 weeks go by and you
Exactly.
haven't done anything.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I imagine that you physically, even with the illness, you can't overexert yourself, right? Is that
No, I can't. No, I
right?
can't. It's like it's just managing because you get like intensely fatigued. It's
Okay.
like as an indescribable type of fatigue where you just feel to sleep for like days
Mhm.
and nothing works. Like 'cause sometimes like I drink coffee, I will drink like a Gatorade or something, or
Mhm.
like take my vitamins, and I will
Mhm.
still just want to sleep. Like
Yeah.
nothing will work. Like I will drink coffee and still like fall to sleep like nothing. It
Wow.
will just I have to sleep, and
Mm.
that's the only thing that will cure my tiredness.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it really is managing, and yeah,
Yeah.
is managing it. But
Wow.
self-care is important. Do not be like me, please, listeners out there.
Yeah. It's
Don't
hard. It's
it's
hard. It's hard for
hard.
anyone.
It
Women, and
is,
women, we take on, I mentioned a few of the things we take on, and then we take on other people's issues too. Not to mention our own,
yeah.
our own things that we have to do. We're taking on other people's problems too, unfortunately. So,
Unfortunately, yep.
yes. Oh my goodness. So, talk about your love for TNT, for Trinidad and Tobago. I know you mentioned that you spent a few years in the US and you studied undergrad in New Jersey. So, how has being home influenced you as an entrepreneur? Because I feel like I read somewhere that there's a really growing startup community for entrepreneurs there in Trinidad. So, tell me about how being there has influenced your entrepreneurial journey, and what's it like for the startup community there?
Okay. I love being Trinidadian. I've always loved being Trinidadian. I am Trini to the bone. I am
Okay.
that island girl.
Yeah.
I love the hot sun. I hate the cold weather. So like being in New Jersey for 5 years, I actually did my post grad there as well. It was a
Okay.
5 year program.
Okay.
Um, was hell. Like I don't know what I was thinking, but I know what I was thinking. I wanted to get away from my parents. I just didn't
Sure.
want, yeah, I just didn't want to stay here.
Yeah.
But
What part of New Jersey?
Teaneck,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, yeah. So yes, I love my country. Going through a lot right now,
Mhm.
because of a various amount of things, but we won't go into that. The
Mhm. Mhm.
entrepreneur
Mhm.
movement, I have seen it. I'm seeing it growing. I'm seeing
Mhm.
a lot. I'm around a lot of local and small business, and I even like to call it small business owners
Mhm.
are pushing their brand, who are working with brands abroad in regionally in the Caribbean, other Caribbean islands, Jamaica,
Mhm.
Barbados,
Mhm.
Haiti.
Mhm.
I'm seeing it alive and well in front of me, and it excites me to see where it's gonna be like in the next 5, 10 years,
Yeah.
especially the creatives, like all the designers, the handbag. Like I didn't even know it had such a big creative movement in Trinidad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, there are lots of handbag designers, there are fashion designers, shoes, earrings, all those things, and they are pushing the envelope
Yeah.
to go global with their brands and to
Good.
take to the next level. And it is really is exciting to see
Good. Very
how big
exciting.
thing. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
That
have you are there like meetups with these groups, or are there like community related things where people get together?
Yeah, there are meetups. There are like Facebook groups.
Okay.
Within the Facebook groups, there are meetups. Within there are like pop-up shops. There are a
Okay.
lot of pop-up shops um locally now. Like
Nice.
that's a big thing where you can go and get stuff. There are markets.
Mhm.
So like every first Sunday in certain months, there are like
Mhm.
markets where you can go and get stuff from local designers or local artisans.
Mhm.
And there are other markets where it's like a green market, but a little more upscale than
Mhm.
the traditional market that we have in Trinidad. So you can go to the green markets as well and get stuff that way. So it is growing. It
Nice.
is definitely growing. And
Very
there are
good.
lots of like workshops, things to help people with their entrepreneurial ventures.
Nice, nice, very good.
Hmm.
Exciting. So you celebrated 1 year with TrinidadMogalista.com. Congratulations.
Thank
Woohoo.
you.
You're welcome. You're
Woo-hoo.
welcome. So what advice can you offer to many of our listeners who are early stage entrepreneurs on how to effectively use social media specifically to grow their brand? We mentioned that, it does take commitment, it takes a lot of work, but what sort of advice can you give early stage entrepreneurs to grow their platforms?
Have a plan.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Have a plan for your social media.
Okay.
When it comes to growing your brand on social media, you have to have a plan. Everything is done with some sort of thought process behind
Mhm.
it,
Mhm.
right? So you just don't post for posting's sake,
Right.
but you have to post with an intention
Yep.
and with some sort of, yeah, strategy
Mhm.
behind it. All right. That'd be the first thing. The thing, the next thing would be for you to, ooh, uh, align yourself with others on social media who you admire
Okay.
and who you draw inspiration from.
Okay.
Not really as in to mimic what they are doing, not
Mhm.
to do that, but to make your allegiances and to talk. Because
Okay.
that's what I did. Like I was not afraid to like leave a comment
Mhm.
on a post and let people know that, it was a good post. I really enjoy it. I like your content and be there every day. Being there every day is essential. Like you cannot like skip a day. Even though now I'm like skipping some days, but um
It's hard to be there
it's
every day.
hard to be there every day, but and like I beat myself up. Like you tell your clients you need to be there every day, and you're not there. But I know that my clients come first, so
Of
they
course.
being there every day is more important than me being there
I
every
get
day,
that.
right? So I have to make sure that they are good, and then I can just see about myself after. But yeah, being consistent, and I was not afraid also to take classes. Like I have
Mm.
taken Instagram classes. I've taken two Instagram, 3 or 4 Instagram classes. I take Facebook classes. I take all these master classes that people are out here selling, like I will see the reviews on people's posts, people's classes at first. I will do my research
Mm-hmm.
and I will take a class. Like I am always absorbing
Hmm.
content and taking information from people and listening to things like podcasts and stuff like that.
I hope
So
this one.
yes, so going to some like virtual summits and taking up the worksheets and
Mm-hmm.
really, really investing into my brand. Like that's the next thing that entrepreneurs I think are afraid to do. And
Yeah.
if you don't and simply don't invest in your brand, then your brand won't grow.
Yep.
It's real talk. You need to invest in it and really, really zone in into what you need to learn and like check it off the list. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Contact, if you know that social is not your forte, that would be the first thing I would do. Contact a social media coach,
Yep.
strategist, somebody to help you. A lot of us do intensive, so even if you can't afford to do the full time
Mm-hmm.
social media, social media management, we can teach you what to do,
Yeah.
which I actually rather do than the social media
Than the
management.
actual implementation. Yeah, because
Yeah,
again, it takes a lot of
it's a
work.
lot of work. Yeah, right.
As we
So
mentioned. So on
yeah.
that same conversation of social media, what common mistakes do you see people, entrepreneurs in particular, making? Like what, and also, so common mistakes, and then also how can busy women entrepreneurs effectively manage this really overwhelming but necessary task in business?
Okay, yeah. Um, if you're running a business with a product,
Okay.
I see them only posting the product.
Okay.
So all I see on your Instagram feed is product, 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 product. Who is this product? Who is this product for?
Right.
What is this product about?
Mhm.
What is the value of this product? These are things that I like to see as well.
Mhm.
As
Mhm.
if I'm a first time buyer, I need to see your testimonials. I need to see, I need to see you. I need to see somebody who is representing this brand
Right.
and what this brand is about. So that's the first mistake that I see a lot of entrepreneurs making.
Okay.
Next one, I see them um not posting consistently, not updating like their Facebook about page,
Mhm.
not out their contact numbers, the website is not working properly,
Mhm.
things like that. Like those are essential.
Mhm.
Those give a first impression
Mhm.
to your customers, right? Like
Mhm.
if your Facebook page has not been updated in like 2, 3 weeks, then how am I going to, or even a month, like
Mhm.
how am I going to like trust you?
Right.
Because that means you're not there. You're not there to me. You're not available.
Mm.
So
That's good.
and you're not taking the time to engage with your audience,
Yeah.
to be present. So
Right.
that means you need to be there. You need to be there often,
Yeah.
right? So that's the first thing. Managing it, there are tools, there are scheduling apps, there are there are scheduling apps like Hootsuite
Mhm.
and Buffer and Plan Post Planner and Sprout Social. There are lots of scheduling apps. Some are paid, some are free,
Mhm.
where you can schedule out your social media.
Mhm.
And I would always tell people get into the habit of creating content. If you can't do it every day, every other day, so you always have content that you can post out on social media for your brand.
Yep.
Um, get to know your ideal customer in and inside and out. Get to know this person, know who this person, what they like, what they don't like, if they watch Power, if they watch Love
Mhm.
and Hip Hop,
Mhm.
what are their tickers
Right.
per se. So you can always come up with some content
Sure.
for them that will appeal to them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very good. Solid, solid tips, Ameniki. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
So I want to switch gears just a little bit and talk about faith. Um, you know, I heard you mention a little bit earlier, and just in the conversation and before prior to that, you
Hmm.
are a believer. So
Hmm.
how do you believe? How do you think that your belief, right, in God, influences the decisions that you make as an entrepreneur, and if so, in what ways?
I ask him first.
Oh. Mhm.
Um, I ask him first for the strength,
Mhm. The physical
um,
strength, I'm sure
the
too.
physical strength, the
Yeah.
the mindset to
Mhm.
bless my creativity, to help me with my creativity.
Mhm.
Um, I ask him for that.
Mhm.
I ask him to tell me if to just give this all up and just run away.
Mhm.
Most of the times he's like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah.
No. Um, that's the first thing. And I always ask him to bring the right people into my circle, into my life, and to
Mhm.
show me. Very, very stubborn. So
Okay.
I usually have to get burnt to learn.
Okay.
Working on that.
Okay.
So yes, so he has to tell me he's knock and then he's like he'll knock and he'll
Mhm.
hit me over the head and say, "Oh, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. This is
Mhm.
the direction that we're going in."
Mhm.
But so far, he has definitely blessed me with an incredible team.
Good.
Thanks to my team. Thank you.
Mhm.
Who are always willing to work with my crazy.
Mhm.
Um, and he has blessed me with great clients who trust my vision for their brands
That's nice.
when it comes to social. And I'm very, very grateful for those two things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Especially it makes my work so much easier
Yeah, that's good. What a difference that makes to have somebody entrust you fully with their brand.
with their brand.
It makes a difference, and they're not hovering or, questioning it every step. So that's
Every step.
awesome.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good. Okay, Ameniki. So now it is time for our fire round of questioning.
Yes.
This is my one of my favorite portions of the show. We want to get
Yes.
beyond the business of it all and get to know a few random facts about you. Y'all set?
No, but let's go.
Let's do it. You listen, you're a tough girl, you're a survivor. You can handle my little questions. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Would you rather give bad advice or take bad advice? You have to choose one. Would you rather give
Eee.
bad advice or take bad advice?
Take because I can survive it.
Right, right. Okay.
I don't want to know that I fucked up your life. Like I
Right,
fucked.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
You don't want that on your
I
conscience.
don't want. I don't my conscience. No. Let
Okay.
me figure it. I have to figure like what is this? What did this person tell me? Okay. Yeah. Let me
Right.
figure it out
All
and let's
right, good.
recover from it. Like
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Okay. So people say blank is my best physical feature. Fill in that blank. People say my blank is my best physical feature.
My
Oh,
smile. I
very
think.
nice. Very safe, but very nice.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
even my smile.
very good. Okay, so you can spend one day with one of these very popular ladies. Who would you choose and what would you do with them? Okay, one day, which lady would you choose and what would you do? So Tracy Ellis Ross, love her. Kim Kardashian or Rihanna?
You didn't even have my person. I
Who?
thought you'd have my person.
Well, who is your person?
Beyonce. Like I will
Well,
spend my
cause you
day
know
with.
why?
Why?
Beyonce is everyone's favorite person. So who wouldn't want? And so I very conscientiously did not put Beyonce on this list just for that reason alone.
Oh, okay. Between Tracy Ellis Ross,
Yes.
Rihanna, and Kim. Kim,
Okay.
because Kim is Miss Social, and I would get
Ah.
all the information about social
Oh.
media from Kim. Like,
Oh, good,
me
good, good. So strategic, strategic.
all your dirty little secrets
All
about
the tea.
social
Okay.
media. Yeah.
Yes, I saw like a home video that she did with her daughter, and I think it's Courtney's daughter, the
Yeah.
Penelope, the little one, and they're wearing
Yeah.
like these $5,000 shoes. I mean, like they're playing in their mom's clothes, and I'm like, wow, it's nice to be a 4-year-old with $5,000 shoes, just playing around, like playing for Tea Party or something. Okay,
Yeah.
if you could make money doing one thing, just one thing forever, what would it be?
Social. I
Social.
love social. I just
Okay.
love being on social media. Like I will just talk to people about using social media to grow their brands. That'll
Okay.
be the one
Okay.
thing.
Okay. You know what I would have said?
What?
Breathing. Let's make it as easy as
As easy
possible
as
to make this
possible.
money. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Say this 3 times fast. It's a little lengthy, so I'll be patient with you.
Oh my God.
I've got a date at 7:45. I'll see you at the gate, so don't be late. I'll read it one more time. I've got a date at 7:45. I'll see you at the gate, so don't be late. Go.
I've got a date at 7:45, so I'll see you at the gate. Don't be late. I have a date at 7:45. I'll see you at the gate, so don't be late. I have a date at 7:45. I'll see you at the gate, so don't be late.
Very good. Woo! You did really great. I love
Yeah,
that.
we're Trinidadians. We kind of talk really
Yeah,
quickly.
that's true. That's true. Very good. So, Ameniki, my friend, tell me how people can connect with you. What are your social media handles? How can we stay in touch?
It is Trinidad Mogalista on everything. Facebook, Instagram. No, Twitter is T Mogalista because Twitter does not want you to be great and have the whole.
Hmm.
It's too much words.
Yep.
But everything it's Trinidad Mogalista. Snapchat as well.
Okay.
Trinidad Mogalista. Website is www.trinidadmogalista.com. You can send me an email. Hi at trinidadmogalista.com. I respond most of the times within 24 hours. So that is it. Yeah.
Very good. Wonderful. Well, Ameniki, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to you for spending a bit of your very valuable time with me and the Greeting Global Collective podcast listeners. You truly exemplify the innate brilliance and moxie of Black women entrepreneurs globally, and I am honored to have gotten to know you a bit. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. Like,
You're
this is so much
welcome.
fun. This is my first iTunes podcast. So I'm
Nice.
excited.
Very good.
Like,
Very good. Well, we're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher for Android users. So shout us out with your people.
yes, I will.
Okay, my dear. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, my friends, I'm super excited to announce, drum roll, a new joint venture between this platform, the Gradients Global Collective podcast, with me, host Nia Perry. I have partnered with my friend Michelle Gomez from the Networking with Michelle podcast. We are super excited to launch blackwomenpodcast.com. Woohoo! Blackwomenpodcast.com offers instructional digital events, courses, and masterminds to the growing group and community of aspiring Black women podcasters. Head right over to blackwomenpodcast.com right now to sign up to be one of the first to receive our very first free digital event. Again, it's going to be a free event that you can sign up for to learn how you can start and grow and build your own podcast by us. We'll teach you everything you need to know. Okay? blackwomenpodcast.com. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.